This podcast is not sponsored or supported by any business or organization. The views reflected on these podcast episodes are my own. Please be aware I am not a medical expert, travel agent, or any other kind of expert. Hey everyone, welcome to the Eat, Explore, Love podcast. I'm Ashley. This podcast is based off of my blog of the same name, Eat, Explore, Love. It talks about the unique challenges in traveling around the world when you have celiac disease. Due to sort of popular demand, I decided to also record a podcast to delve a little deeper into my travels and the lessons learned along the way. On the final part of these conversations with my sister Brittany, we talk more about her experience studying abroad and the city of Florence. This was so much fun getting to see how my sister has dealt with having celiac disease all these years, and it's amazing that we've both made sure we've gotten to live the best version of our lives, in spite of dealing with an autoimmune disease. I have to say, I am so incredibly proud of my sister and all that she has accomplished. She's more than just a girl with celiac disease. She is an incredible person, and she's been able to accomplish so many things, not only personally, but professionally. And as her older sister, we've had a lot of bumps in the road, as most sisters do, but these 3 conversations that we put out to share in the world with you guys, I hope that you have as much respect and admiration for her as I do, though I don't know that that's possible because a lot of big sister pride over here. But without further ado, here's our final conversation talking about Florence and studying abroad with celiac disease on this episode of Eat, Explore, Love, the podcast. So this is more about like traveling. Have you always wanted to travel?
Yes.
What made you want to travel?
I think that I've always just been an adventurous person, and I've always liked being able to meet new people and experience new things and new cultures, and I love seeing new places. So.
And you took the leap and you did a study abroad program.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide and feel comfortable with studying abroad in Florence?
Well, you had studied abroad for about like 6 weeks your program was?
4
weeks your program was?
I did 2 4-week programs.
Okay, so you had done it going over to Italy, and so I asked you a lot of questions of if there was food over there, because I just have just like anybody else, it's all pasta and pizza, like how are they going to have anything gluten-free?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of eased that kind of worry a little bit that there is a lot of gluten-free over there and it's not an issue. And then I had 2 people that were in my class that were also going abroad that were gluten intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
And we had kind of made a pact that we were all going to live together in the same apartment, so that it would just be easy with making dinners and going out to eat and stuff, that all the gluten-free people were together in one place, and it wasn't going to be just me having an issue, that there was going to be 3 of us that had this allergy and needed to be accommodated. And so having other people to be with,
Power in numbers.
Yeah, made me feel a little bit more comfortable.
In general, when you're traveling, how much does the celiac disease factor into you picking places that you want to go to? So I know you had a lot of trips planned if
Mm-hmm.
COVID didn't ruin everything.
Mm-hmm.
How did celiac factor in which places you were going to actually plan the trip and go to?
It didn't really affect any of the trips.
That's nice.
That I was, any of the places that I was planning on going to, just because with having it for so long, I have learned of just go and experience the things that you want to experience and do, and then you figure out the rest afterwards in terms of food. And so that's the main reason why I was studying abroad, or really anyone studies abroad for the most part, is being able to have the experiences. And so that was what my main focus was on. And then afterwards, the research of what places it could go to eat were, and having the comfort in there's always that backup meal, that there's always at least one thing on the menu that's simple enough that I can get. Yeah. That's gluten-free.
Where, of all the places that you've gotten to travel, because you've done it through cheerleading, you've done it through gymnastics, and you've done it just now as an adult being able to go places, where is your favorite place that you've gotten to travel to so far?
I'd say probably Switzerland. I went to Interlaken. And that's just because that is one of the, I traveled a lot through Europe, and Switzerland is very much different than Italy in terms of just everything, your surroundings and stuff. And so that was the one trip that I've done that, I guess, I don't want to say isn't the typical, but
it was the most different.
It's the most different from all the places that I've been to so far. So that was my favorite. It also was super fun in that I got to go there with my friends. We got to stay in a log cabin that had a deck built into the mountain there, and we got to see the stars, which were beautiful. And I also learned how to ski for the first time. Never put on a pair of skis ever in my entire life, and I decided that
Switzerland was the spot
to
learn.
Switzerland was the place that I was going to learn how to ski, which was you had two choices if you didn't stay on the mountain. One choice was running into the side of another mountain, or going off the cliff and getting rescued by one of the helicopters that was flying by constantly. So good choices, and it made it also super fun too.
What's on your... So I would imagine that would be a bucket list moment that got fulfilled. What's on your bucket list still for travel?
I really want to next go to either Greece or go to Barcelona.
Barcelona is the best for gluten-free food. They even have a gluten-free food tour.
Yeah.
Which I freaked out about and had the best time. I can't recommend that enough. And you also travel for work, right? So what do you do when you travel for work to guarantee safety, both food-wise and just being a female? You're more likely to solo travel for work purposes, right, than you would for your own personal stuff. So is there any safety concerns that you keep in mind that you have advice for others?
I feel like typically I just do a lot of research. I go onto the Facebook group apps and look up in that city what's there that's gluten-free that people haven't gotten sick from. And then I also check the different gluten-free apps on your phone that there are, of looking at places and seeing what the reviews are if anybody's ever gotten sick. So doing that, which typically just do on normal day to day, and then after that either going to the dinner and just doing your normal caution of being aware of your surroundings, or Uber Eatsing it and putting special instructions in the notes on that app of that I'm gluten free, and make sure that it's prepared for that.
So now that we've answered some general questions, let's do Eat, Explore, Love Florence from your perspective. So best places for you that you thought were great for eating gluten-free in Florence. Do you remember any of the places?
I guess it may be a sin to say this, but Mr. Pizza I went to, and I recommended that to you when you were there. It's Mr. Pizza is kind of like the chain place over in Italy, but they had really great gluten-free pizza, and they had gluten-free calzones that were the size of your head there. which was really delicious. There was also, across from my apartment, there was like a mom and pop shop ice cream place. I lived on Via de Benci. And on that street was a mom and pop ice cream place, and they had peanut butter gelato, which is rare to find, which was amazing. But then they also had gluten-free cones, which made it even better. So I'd recommend that place. And then I also then just found, like, me and my friends, we just did a bunch of research in just the smaller, I can't remember off the top of my head, the smaller, like, restaurants that are mom and pop kind of places. But we just did a lot of research into that, of what ones were gluten-free or had gluten-free options, and went to those, and they were all really good.
Where were places that you recommend for exploring and touristy or like hidden gems that you feel like would be good for people if they're going to visit Florence, that they hit off the bucket list?
So I would recommend Piazza Michelangelo. That was like one of my favorite places. I don't know how much of a hidden gem it is, but you have to do a long hike, or not a long hike, but it is a hike up a pretty steep hill that you have to walk up. And then you come to this, like, what is it?
It is a piazza. Yeah, it's a square.
And they have stairs that people have wine, and people bring food to sit on the stairs and watch the sunset. And there's usually someone that's there playing the violin or some sort of instrument. And it's like you can see the entire city from there. So I'd say that was like one of my favorite places.
Any other like museums that you recommend, or shops, or anything else that you feel like would be good for people to see?
I'd say take a look at, I think, just like all of the stores. Take a look at Salvatore Ferragamo.
Okay.
They're a shoe, mainly they're known for their shoes. But I think, I could be wrong, but I think that they started in Florence. And it's a big brand like Louis Vuitton or whatever else. And in the basement of that shoe store, they have a museum that's constantly changing out of different topics and different like shoes in their archives and clothing that they display. And that was something that was a really cool thing that I would not have known about if it wasn't for my school and them setting up that tour. What were the life lessons that you learned in Florence that have stuck with you since your time there? I know it was cut short. I think just not being scared to explore, and to not let anything kind of hold me back, and to just go with it. And like food and anything else can be figured out after, but to just go and like fully live life the way it should be, without any sort of allergy or handicap or disability or anything that you may have, just like any other like normal person would that doesn't have any issues, because there's no sense and no point in letting something hold you back from being able, especially just like an allergy, from being able to live your life.
Yeah. So here's for the wrap-up questions, and then you're released. We're done with our 3-part series. Do you feel the city of Florence is safe for those with celiac?
Yes.
Where was your favorite place to eat?
Mr. Pizza.
What was your favorite memory of the experience of studying abroad in Florence?
I think just being able to see and explore different places, not only for my first time, but also for a lot of my friends' first time. And so to be able to experience that and have those memories together for a lifetime.
Is this a city to vacation to or live in?
Yes, to both.
Is this a place to relax or be active?
Active.
How are the people?
Say that they're nice.
Yeah.
But also, kept to themselves as well. Not as cold as the Budapest people, but typical Italians.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for helping the other fellow celiac people that listen to this podcast. I'm sure they're going to appreciate hearing your thoughts on things, because I've only been able to speculate what it may have been like from your perspective. So it was good to go straight to the source.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, till next time. Thank you so much for joining me and my sister in all these conversations about having celiac disease and the different ways it's impacted our lives. I really hope you enjoyed all those episodes. That's it for this series with Brittany. I hope to have her on again in the future. Thanks so much for listening. Till next time. Thank you for joining me this week for all the fun journeys and lessons learned on my big adventure called life. For more information on the different cities discussed, check out the blog posts on hieatexplorelove.com, posted every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you have any questions or fun stories to share, feel free to reach out at hieatexplorelove@gmail.com. Until next week, remember to eat well, explore the world, and love yourself. See you next time! This episode is produced, scripted, and edited by me, Ashley. Special thanks to Sarah Mientka.